So a lot of people, in quite a derogatory manner, will often say, "Oh, you only have these waifus of yours. That's a that's a lack of pussy. If you had a girlfriend, you wouldn't be concerning yourself with that, you know." And they say that for like ecchi anime too, for straight up Rule 34. But in the case of waifu specifically, it's interesting to notice, like, not only that that's untrue, but why it is untrue, as well as the ways it is untrue, the specific situations and things that show it to be such, I guess. Because despite these perceptions, I've noticed that the exact opposite is true. That waifus have such a unique appeal that even people that have waifus, when they get a girlfriend, they don't just stop liking their waifu. Generally, you will see, like, even the few weebs that manage to get a girlfriend, that they will still maintain those characters close to heart, and they will still like them just as much and in the same way as they did before getting a partner. And the opposite is also true. Whenever someone uses a waifu to try to substitute real girls, that inevitably fails and the person feels unfulfilled because the waifu can't sate that need for a real human connection. But it's the other way around too, and that just goes to show how unique the appeal of waifus is, because it can't be used to substitute anything else, and at the same time it can't be substituted by anything else. And that can even be demonstrated in some quite less than wholesome examples as well, unfortunately, given that there are people out there with entire families who still decide to waste half a fortune on like gacha waifus or simping for like VTubers. It's not always like such a positive thing, but still interesting to see again like how reality kind of disproves this notion and shows that yes, waifus do have their own unique appeal that's exclusive to them, which is quite interesting, I think. And this is actually quite true of other things that people say that about, that they have these perceptions of, oh, you're just doing this because you don't have a girlfriend, like, or the famous, oh, just go watch porn, right? That argument when people complain about censorship in games, or in reaction to people like wanting to play a game that's not quite a hentai game, but is a bit more ecchi, like what they call gooner games, like ZZZ. Surprisingly, that has its own appeal too, and it can be proven in a similar way. Because I've met quite a few people in my life, they're not even that uncommon, that like ecchi, that they quite enjoy that style of anime or of game, of content in general, but they are really not into hentai or into like 3D hentai, let's put it this way, for one reason or another. A friend of mine is, to this day, he still has that attitude, and I, for a long time, actually had that too. Heck, one of the content creators I watch regularly has that attitude. And so it's not even an uncommon thing, it's pretty easy to find people, if you really look for it, that really enjoy ecchi and like gooner games and designs and media, etc., but are not into like the outright stuff, you know? And the same is true in reverse as well. Ek is even more common, where people who like hentai, who like that content, will often complain that ecchi just feels like endless teasing and that they just want the real thing already. That argument is also pretty common. And again, for the people that do like both, one can't substitute the other, because again, as I keep saying and as these examples keep demonstrating, there is a specific and unique appeal to this more softcore media, I guess would be the best way to call it, that the more like hardcore stuff can't fulfill, and obviously there's an appeal to that the softcore stuff can't fulfill, has is more easily accepted. And so this whole argument of, oh, just go watch porn, that's why it doesn't really work, because that content can't substitute my ecchi, and neither can the ecchi substitute it. If a person likes both, they're going to want both. They're not going to try to use one to substitute the other, because like just the fact that there are people, a ton of people who can like either one, just goes to show that they are separate things that both then have their own appeal, that is not the same thing that you can just replace like that, as surprising as that can be. And if I am really generous with those people, I can say that like I can understand their confusion, because it looks like these kinds of things should be like they should have the same appeal, and so the hardcore stuff in both cases, the more real, like the more potent stuff, I guess would be the word to define it, should be easily able to substitute logically the weaker stuff. But no, both of them are not just two flavors of the same thing, they're actually two different flavors that do completely independent things instead, which is quite the interesting phenomenon to notice, given the common perception, I think at least. Though, of course, those are just my observations and the way I view things, so I obviously, on every single one of these types of videos, encourage you to comment and manifest your own opinion on the subject, because I really want to see like what other people think about this. I really want to have other perspectives, so feel especially encouraged to comment on this video specifically. But yeah, I guess that will be it. And that will be it for today. If you liked this video, then please remember to, of course, like, comment and subscribe, as this really helps me out even more than you think. If you really liked it though, then I'd also really appreciate if you could support me financially, either through a one-time paid comment donation or by joining my membership, where for $1 a month, you get to participate in exclusive polls in order to decide which videos I'll make next, as well as get access to a couple of exclusive videos and, best of all, even get your name added to this incredibly fancy list of awesome people right here. But of course, no matter how much you choose to donate, if you choose to do so at all, do know that I deeply appreciate any cent you're willing to throw my way, as well as just the fact that you're watching this video up to this point at all. But with that, I think it's about time to, as always, bid you guys farewell. Obscure Anime out.